Hello everyone, I'm Edita Sitar from Untitled Quilts. Welcome to Quilting Window Life. I am so thankful and so excited that you tune in and wanted to see some of my beautiful quilts. Oh, what a wonderful day. It is a little cold outside, so it's a perfect day for a nice show about quilt and cozy and have some fun. Oh, remember, 2 weeks ago we had a live show and I talked to you guys about squares, the most simple shape in quilting. Today, we're going to be talking about triangles. Yes, when you take a square, cut it once diagonally, you get two half square triangles. If you take that same square, cut it twice diagonally, you get four quarter square triangles. Let me show you some beautiful quilts. I love triangles in quilts because they make so many beautiful, beautiful designs. But one of the simplest one, and we're going to start with some antique quilts first. I have 5 antique quilts to share with you from my collection, and a lot of them are just scrappy fun quilts. You can make those if you want to. For example, one of my favorite is this 1000 pyramid quilt. It's one of the most popular quilt in quilting, done with half square triangle from the past. Oh, all these half square triangles. Notice it. This one has the blocks are 3-inch finish. What a wonderful, wonderful quilt. And what I love about this quilt is, notice the design. It goes in one direction and then suddenly it turns. Do you think she just flipped that side suddenly and added to it? Whoever made that quilt must have had some fun in the winter. So half square triangles are so much fun to do it. Oh, this is another one of my antique quilts that I think is just spectacular. The simple pattern of half square triangle, now 4 of them sewn together, it gets a beautiful pinwheel. And look at how the spinning through this quilt and all those lovely fabrics. And I love the contrast between dark and a light. Don't you agree? Isn't that stunning? Oh, I love this quilt. Super simple and fun to do it. When you think about it, this may be perfect for a layer cake to make this quilt from. Of course, when you start making half square triangles, you're gonna be swimming in them. And this one calls ocean wave, another very popular pattern from the past where half square triangles are the center of attention. But notice this quilt, notice this red, how it just sprinkles and floats right to it. And this quilt is so lovely. I absolutely adore the ruffle on the edges of it. Isn't that stunning? Oh, I love ocean waves. I have some that I brought it for you to share it with you today. There are some that I made. Now notice this stunning quilt, another variation of ocean wave, but look at how different, how beautiful. There's some half square triangles right here, right going through the quilt, but notice the setting right here of smaller half square triangles. It is this stunning. Oh, and I love that little cheddar floating right through the middles of all of those blocks. Now, when you take a half square triangle and a little square and put them together, what a wonderful, wonderful design. Look at this antique quilt. Isn't that stunning? I love this quilt and I brought it to show it with you, not only because of the half square triangles and the perfect marriage with the little squares, but I love using light muslin fabric into the background. I love how this quilt has that, just the touch of muslin. Notice the quilt behind me. It's all printed fabric, and then suddenly for the light, just the beautiful light muslin. Our linen texture fabrics are perfect for that because they're simple, they have a tiny bit of a texture, and they give you perfect, perfect background fabric. Now let's move on to some of the quilts that I have made. And later on, I'm gonna go over all of the patterns. We're also gonna pause them, so do not worry. We're gonna go really quickly through those quilts because I brought a lot of them for you. And I know you probably have other things to do, not only watch me today. But I am so thankful that you took the time and wanted to spend at least a little bit time with me. I chose this quilt as one of my first quilts to show you. Again, It's a perfect marriage, half square triangle with a square. Look at what happened. But this is one of the first quilts that I have made. So I thought this medallion quilt would be perfect to start up our show. In the center, I have a beautiful applique. Do you notice it? And then I place my half square triangle scraps going around and around like a trip around the world, finished with a beautiful border. Oh, this looks wonderful. What a beautiful quilt. Few years ago, I released a lovely book called Friendship Triangle. The cover quilt on that book was this quilt right here. What's so special about Friendship Triangle? I love the idea of sharing my triangle with friends. What I would do is make a bunch of half square triangle from one fabric, give it to some of my friends, and they exchange with me and give me some of theirs. And I end up with the beautiful scraps. And notice what I did in this quilt. I set it as a medallion, trip around the world, and I took all the red ones and almost made invisible border right here for my quilt right here. Then I accent with a beautiful inner outer border, one of the first fabrics that I designed, and create a beautiful quilt. Oh, this love for exchanging half square triangle and swapping with my friends have been just unbelievable. And I was lucky to exchange all these beautiful triangles from this quilt with many, many friends. 600 friends have exchanged 250,000 half square triangle. We had so much fun. And notice some of them have signature on it. It was so amazing. Alex and Ricky Tim from the quilt show was so kind to do that exchange, and a wonderful, wonderful group of ladies from Texas, a guild, was helping with exchanging all of those beautiful half square triangles. I love them. They're 2-inch half square triangle, 2-inch finish. If you have half square triangles, you're gonna make beautiful leaves on your tree farm quilt. That's the name of this quilt. This is so much fun. Notice that some of the trees I cluster yellows, some I did red, some I did scrappy. I had so much fun making this beautiful pattern. This quilt called Tree Farm, and it is just a wonderful block to work from. And if you would like to, I have a video that I show you how to make this block. So you can visit our YouTube channel and watch that video. It is wonderful. We have the pattern, we have the templates. You're gonna have some fun with that. Another lovely block that you can make with large half square triangles and smaller one is this beautiful feather star. Look how beautiful it is. This a pattern called Wishing Star, and I love the idea of putting big print right there in the center, set it up with nice accent colors, and did all of my small half square triangles super fun and scrappy. Did not pay attention at all. I love mixing batiks and printed fabrics together. So this quilt has a really nice warm flavor of all those beautiful fabrics. In another book, I had this quilt, and this one is a perfect combination of half square triangles and triangle made from 2 strips. This one was from Friendship Strips and Scraps. It's right in the back of the book. Oh, you can use and reuse all of those wonderful pieces. And notice it how my color changed as I was working off my quilt. Notice one corner is a little bit lighter. I must have been running out of those darker strips and darker pieces. So this looks just amazing. A little bit more organized, not so scrappy. You will fill up your baskets with half square triangles, and basket himself is made from a triangle. Look at the base, 2 little triangle for the handle, little triangles, filled it up with the beautiful scrappy triangles. This wonderful pattern is from our book, Handful of Scraps. Oh, I had so much fun making this quilt, and it is inspired by an antique quilt that my friend Kim from Prairie Stitches on that quilt, and it was so sweet to share with me for my book, Handful of Scraps. Look at how beautiful. Hello to Kim, by the way. I miss her so, so much. So this is another quilt that I wanted to share with you. And this one is from the book Friendship Triangles again. Exchange triangles with your friends, make blocks, then you rotate those blocks. This is the block, just 4 half square triangles, and then you flip it back and forth and look at the design. And I matched up the colors in the center of my blocks because I wanted to be a little bit like an anchor of some of the craziness and scrappiness. Anytime you work with scraps, I wanted to teach you something by adding a nice inner border, really nice accent. You anchor some of the scrappiness and create a beautiful quilt. Look at this mountain top. Let me show you hundreds of beautiful half square triangles set in the same color. Notice it. Look at what I'm doing right here. I'm anchoring up. I'm creating a block right here. I'm matching my pieces right on the outside. All of this is scrappy. Then do a nice accent for the center. Beautiful sashing. Anytime you put something light, you push the colors really nice up, and this would be a beautiful quilt for a nice big bed. This one calls Mountain Top. And you know what? I love this quilt so much. I didn't just make it once. I made it twice. This was the first one. This is the second one. And this is one of my first collection that I designed with Endover called Sequoia. Crystal Farm was the first, and then Sequoia was the second one. I was wrong. Yes, that's the second collection that I did it in color. This is just wonderful. Look at this. Isn't that amazing? And like I said, I love putting batiks with my traditional fabrics and putting this beautiful batik busy print with all those triangles made me feel like there's sprinkle leaves on the ground in the fall. And this calls a dancing star. Those triangles are 1.5 inch and they are just delightful. And I love that in the center, it looks almost like a low diamond. It is a beautiful, beautiful big block. You can just make one of them for a table topper and it's going to be amazing. Oh, we are having so much fun with all these triangle quilts, but I have to tell you, my heart, in my heart, there is a special place for the ocean wave block. And I have made that quilt many times. This is a smaller version of it, and this one has all different scraps. Notice it, different, the lights are scrappy, and even the border is pieced from all different scraps. Look at how cute and sweet it is. It's a perfect size for a baby quilt. I really, really like this one. If you have a little girl, you maybe want a little scraps. If you have a little boy, what about reversing the colors and do the darker tone for the background? And all those beautiful lights are part of the quilt. So, and the design, look at how sweet it is. And if you do not want much of a color, you want something to just wrap yourself in it that truly feels like ocean wave and all those blues, maybe this color option would be a better one for you. Look at how wonderful it looks. And I have to tell you a little secret right now. On my sewing machine, I have hundreds of little scraps because I'm making this in a little smaller version. Maybe not as small as this one, but it's nice and small. So I can't wait to share with you. When I finish, I will definitely make sure I post it to show it to you. This one is only 1 inch. Those are 1.5 inch. Look at how wonderful. And did I show you this quilt? This is the larger version of it. And look at the little guy. Isn't that sweet? This one is from Little Handful of Scraps. Little Handful of Scraps. And this quilt, the pattern calls Free Spirit. And coincident, I got to show you some of the backing. And today's show, I'm going to take a minute and talk to you about backings for quilts. But let's finish our quilts, our triangle quilts. And remember what we talk about it. When we take a square, we cut it once diagonally, we get 2 half square triangles. The straight grain is on each side of the triangle, and right here on this side you have a bias edge. But if you take a square, cut it twice diagonally, you can make quarter square triangles. And this is my pride and joy. This is my 20th anniversary quilt. I did not make this one. Guess what? It's a gift to me. My mother-in-law Carol made this for me. So I want to say hi to mom and dad. They both are great quilters. My mother-in-law Carol and my father-in-law Joe, they are just amazing, and they made this quilt for Michael and me for our anniversary. I love it. And you know why I like it so much? Because it's big and we can really wrap ourselves. Look how big it is. Look at all these beautiful quarter square triangle units. Mom really enjoyed putting it together and used a lot of those beautiful fabrics that we used to go together and shop and had fun. Oh, we loved it. We would buy a fabric and then split it and just had so much fun back in Pennsylvania. If you take that quarter square triangle unit and add a little light sashing in between, it looks like a little bow, doesn't it? Isn't it cute? You can make this beautiful, beautiful medallion quilt. And this one is from our book called Handful of Scraps. Handful of Scraps. This one is delightful. I highly recommend pick up all your scraps, start creating, and have some fun with it. And notice that I try some paper piecing. It's a medallion quilt. I put it right in the center, added some applique, and had some fun with it. All right, we are almost to the end of our triangle quilts. And guess what? No matter what size you choose, a tiny one or a big one, you're always going to have some fun with it. And notice this quilt. This is one of our free patterns on our website, Stargazer. And I have made this quilt multiple times. It is perfect for layer cake. So if you have a layer cake, add a little bit extra background to it. You're going to have the most amazing quilt. It is so much fun to do it, quick, exciting, and the quilting could be the final touch to it. Before I show you the next quilt, I wanted to thank everyone that joined me for our quilt along, Alaska quilt along last year in the end of the year. We had so much fun. And many of you have been asking, hey, where is your quilt? Did you finish? I made two of them. I made a regular Alaska, and then I was working on my scrappy one. And I finished it up, and look at how lovely it is. And I brought this quilt because that triangle is a part of the design. Look at it, how cute it is. It floats and it turns and finishes the edges perfectly for us. Isn't that beautiful? So that is our Alaska rainbow quilt. So we talked about all these wonderful things, and I want to bring up to you before we go some things that you're probably going to be asking about it. I'm going to go over really quickly all of the patterns that we used. And please, please, please forgive me if I make any mistake. I'm just human. That's all. I don't do it on purpose. It just sometimes happens. So let's start. One of the first quilts we looked at was medallions. Some of the quilts were from our friendship triangle book. We did look at the tree farm quilt. That was the one with all the tree. Wishing star was the star that we want to make. Friendship strips and scrap in a bag was that one scrappy quilt that I really enjoy. Mountain top is right here. Isn't that wonderful? Dancing star, you loved that one. Ocean wave in two different sizes. Sea breeze or Kelly, both of them have a wonderful, wonderful designs in it. They are different because they're different sizes of half square triangle and the pieces that are finishing in. And speaking of half square triangle, I brought some with me too. So I want to show it to you. They're all different kind of half square triangles out there. I love using the ones that are ready, set, go for, look at this one. It's for charm packs. So those are really nice. You get 8 half square triangles out of this paper. So there are papers. And if you want to know a little bit more about it, please visit our YouTube channel. I did a beautiful video on our tree farm quilt, and it will show you everything you needed. And next week, if you do like ocean wave, we have a video ready, set, go for you that it will show you how to make ocean wave block. And this one is 1.5 inch. Those are the most common that I use. 1.5. This one is 2 inch. This is our newest one. Look at how beautiful it is. So when you open, you have your triangle paper right here. Or I love using the 3 inch finish. So every time you look at the size on the paper is the finish size. Okay, back to the quilts. Some of the quilts were from handful of scraps. Alaska Rainbow is the last one. Then little handful of scraps were these little cuties that I showed it to you right here. And in case somebody wants to add some setting triangles and some applique, reaching out is on my left side. What's new at Laundry Basket Quilts? Just really quickly. I'm back in a studio. We just finished photo shoot of our new book. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. It was the most amazing time ever. I end up being in this cute little cabin, and boy, I tell you, my cabin fever was in full blast. I wanted to be crafting 24/7. It was just wonderful. We did a great job photo shooting new quilts for one of our new books that coming up. Can't wait for you to see it. Also, in our studio and on our website, I bet you're noticing some new fabrics. I want to introduce to you Secret Stash, and Secret Stash is perfect for any of the scrappy quilts that I have showed it to you. Right now we have Secret Stash Naturals and Secret Stash Warm. Those are the two bundles that we have available. There will be MOA. There are two MOA that are coming out, and it is the Secret Stash Blue and Greens, and they're coming up a little bit later on. For now, collect the ones that we have, the Secret Stash Natural and Warm. Okay, now one of the most common questions that we have had was about the backings for quilts. How do you choose your backing? What make you choose this polka dot for this backing? I basically, when I finish my quilt, I want my backing, when it flips it gently, to add a little smile to your face and a little bit of excitement. So my binding and my backings, I always pay attention to it. I just don't random pick them. And for this quilt, for example, I noticed I had a beautiful blue, big print, and I want that same blue come out in the back of my quilt, and I accent with an orange. I have brought today some of my favorite fabrics for backing. Many times I choose a big print. I want to show off the big print that I designed. And this one, for example, just came out in the Secret Stash Natural. It came out in the darker tone and the really crisp light tone. If you want to show off your quilting, using something like this is amazing. Really nice and light, and it doesn't have much design, so you're not hiding your stitches in the back. If I want to hide the stitches, I choose something busy like this. So you will not notice the quilting in the back if you do not want to. I really love the florals from my back. Look at how beautiful this fabric is. This is also from a Secret Stash. I picked that out because I just loved it. I used it quite a bit. Now, for sure, I wanted to show off if I wanted to show off some stitches, I use something with more delicate print on it, small print, really nice. This one is from Super Bloom. Another one from Super Bloom is this piece right here, and this one will hide all your stitches. But the last one that I show you is my personal favorite. I almost had to stop myself from using it on some backs of my quilts because I used it so much and I don't want all my back of my quilts look the same. But this one is from Super Bloom. It's a big print. I'm telling you, if you want something special, spectacular, find the most beautiful big print. There's a lot of fabrics out there, beautiful designs, and I am so excited to share some of the new things that are coming out from Laundry Basket Quilts. And I have to tell you, I cannot wait for that new blue bird collection to come out because I would love to use some of those fabrics for backing, like the signature print would be perfect, or those cheetah panels, use them on the back of your quilt. Now, I'm going to ask Erin if we have any questions today. Yes, yes. So let's start right here. This one is 9446-L, 9446-L. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna also post them on my Instagram. 9448-L, super. Oh, guys, now you're going to be going right to our shop, 9451-L Super Bloom. So those three are from Super Bloom collection. And just go and browse and find something nice. Those are from Secret Stash, 8751T. Wonderful. That's amazing. Now 8823E. This is the one that it's very busy. I love this one for the red and white quilts. And this is from Secret Stash as well. And those are the two newest ones that we just got. And those are 9174L. Oh, this feels so amazing. I cannot wait to put this on the back of the quilt because the design almost feels like vintage washed out. I just love how delicate it is. And the teal is perfect. So really like that one. And this one is the same number 9174, but dash N, dash N. So this is L and this is N. So those are, and we have this piece in different collection from our Braveheart, Evergreen. So you can go ahead and pick those pieces up too. Those are more in green and light tone on tone. Is there any other questions that we have? Oh, the question was if there would be a team with the next book. Yes, you're gonna see a lot of blue and light quilts. So we are working on a next book, Patches of Blue #2, but there's a little bit more to it. I don't want to tell you yet because it's a huge surprise. I think you're gonna really, really, really enjoy it. I truly, last year has been like a cabin fever. So a lot of fun things have happened. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Yes?
And repeat the question. Tracy asked, how do you sort or store your scraps?
Oh, that's an excellent question. So the question was, how do I store or sort my scraps? I love that question. I am very particular about folding fabric and stuffing someplace. I don't store scraps. What I do is when I open a fat quarter, I iron it and I start cutting. I cut it for the quilt that I intended to. And if there is any leftovers, I right away pre-cut my leftovers either to strips or to pieces that I could use it for half square triangle paper. So if I know that I'm going to be making a lot of half square triangles on the smaller paper, that's 5-inch squares. So instead of just rolling that little 5-inch scrap, I place it in my basket with 5-inch squares. So when I need it for small triangles like this, I just pull up light and a dark, boom, sew it. And many times when I don't know what to do with myself, and I just want to relax for 5 minutes, and you know how you just get it like 10, 20 minutes to sew, I go to my sewing room and I sew half square triangles or I make scrappy panels. I take strips, sew them together for scrappy panel, but that's a live show from next week when I'm going to show you the next shape in quilting, what is strips. So many times I pre-sew bunch of half square triangles on a paper, have them sitting. This is how I store my scraps in units of half square triangles. So that way, when it's time to make a beautiful quilt like this, or especially one like this, or when I want to exchange with friends, I just go to my basket and pull a bunch of scraps right out and count them out, and then I have a beautiful quilt. So when it comes to making scrappy quilts, it doesn't begin at the smallest piece. It begins as the half square triangle unit. And I very much encourage you, you get so much done if you start pre-sewing your units, pre-sew your half square triangle units. So if you get an idea for a beautiful half square triangle quilt, you have the units already made. You just count them up and you're ready, set, go to make a beautiful quilt. All that you're gonna need is a little bit of sashing, a little bit of background fabric, and you can start getting your project finished and done. Any other questions? One last questions, yes? Yes, I do. So every quilt that you see is signed. Not always it's a label on a back. This is something that maybe you don't know about me. Sometimes you come up. If I don't have a label on a back, the quilt is signed on a front someplace. I either incorporate in my quilting stitches, or I just take my fabric marker and I sign someplace on the edge. So a lot of my quilts are signed. And speaking of my quilts, we are going to have some of our quilts for sale, and I'm gonna uh, make sure that I photograph some of the areas that I signed it, so that way you can see it. So if you're interested in owning one of my quilts, we have some coming up shortly. So please come visit our website at Laundry Basket Quilts. And I cannot tell you how happy I am to be back home. It's been 2 weeks since we did our last live show. Tomorrow, tune in on our YouTube channel. We have our Winter Village Quilt Alone. We are working so hard. We're on block number 6. So, and just a little announcement. After we finish our Winter Village Quilt Alone, we're taking 1 week off, and our Mystery Quilt 2021 is happening. So I hope you're gonna join us, and do I have a surprise for you? If you like squares, if you like half square triangles, maybe some strips, I am getting ready for you something beautiful. Join me in, and thank you, thank you, thank you so much for visiting today. All your questions, all your likes. I am just so thrilled that you chose to be with me today, and I wish you wonderful day and happy quilting.